The Chicago Bears are coming off a 27-17 loss against the Buccaneers. But I'll be honest, I was satisfied with some things I saw on Sunday, but believe me when I say there's still major room for growth, I just don't believe this team is where it should be. One of the things I was satisfied with was the increased usage of DJ Moore. Last week against the Packers, he only saw 2 targets come his way. This past week, he caught 6 of 7 passes for 104 yards, averaging 17.33 yards per catch. The other eye catcher was none other than Chase Claypool, who had a pretty bad season opener but made it up through his effort throughout the week, and then in the game catching 3 passes for 36 yards and caught an absolute dime from Fields for the touchdown. Kmet also felt more involved, bringing in 4 passes for 38 yards. The offense felt like it was clicking until it wasn't. The inconsistency started to hurt the Bears eventually when it came to the quarterback play. It was a plus and minus sort of day for Justin Fields, as he did hit DJ Moore more than he did against Green Bay, and he spread the ball around, but it was obvious his vision issues and confidence problems were still present. To blame the offensive line this past Sunday for all 6 sacks allowed would be total ignorance. There were some plays where Fields was just flat out holding onto the ball way too long, which resulted in sacks or play breakdowns. Something I've noticed this season is Fields' play style looks way different than last season. I don't see any more scrambling or extension of plays. It's clear that this coaching staff is trying to mold him into being a pocket passer and trying to get him to play a certain way, and it's clear that he isn't comfortable with it, and you'll see why in the next segment. With that being said, the offensive line looked decent, but still a lot of room for growth. Carter honestly looked good against Vita Vea. He held his own, and Braxton Jones looked alright, but penalties are really overshadowing his play. If he gets that cleaned up, it's going to help a ton because it's partially setting back this offense right now. And you already know, the defense itself had issues as well. The missed sacks by Yannick were definitely frustrating, and it's something that needs to be cleaned up, but it was refreshing to see guys on the front getting to the quarterback, because we did not see that at all against Green Bay. Billings looked solid once again as he did in week 1, so it's looking like a good pickup for now. As of now, there's no doubt the play calling needs to get better, which starts with Luke Getsy, and you just have to hope he's being held accountable here. Calling a screen pass on 3rd and 8, and then calling 2 back-to-back near your own end zone is negligence at its finest. Overall, this game showed flashes of what this team could be if it all clicked, but for now that's all it is, flashes. I think it's fair to say this week was just a living nightmare for Bears fans. It really did seem like it was just one issue after another. It all started with Justin Fields' press conference, where he went on to say how he felt robotic out there against the Buccaneers, how he was being fed a lot of information at a point in time while he's playing where it's not allowing him to play like himself. But now, the comment that erupted Bears Twitter was this comment he made in response to why he was thinking too much, which he replied with, could be coaching, I think. Obviously, fans began to scramble thinking that the Bears were collapsing. The quarterback is calling out the coaches like this is bad. But then,
when you take my quote out of context, when you just say that, if you paint the picture on the inside out, like y'all are trying to split us up as a team. I'm not blaming anything on the coaches. I'm never going to blame anything on the coaches, never going to blame anything on my teammates. I will take whatever happens in the game, I will take all the blame. I don't care. It's a drop pass, it should have been a pass. Put it on me. But never will you hear anything come out of my mouth to where I will blame it on somebody else in this organization. My teammates, never will you hear that. So I just want to clear that up and just know that,
it's obvious Fields did not like how people took his comments and felt the need to address it and showcase his leadership traits while calling out the media for altering what he was saying. Now to the Alan Williams controversy that ignited the football community. During a press conference, Eberflus was asked a multitude of questions related to Alan Williams and where he was, if they had spoken, and if he had remained a DC, in which Eberflus replied, "I don't have any update." Rumors began swirling that his house and Hallis Hall were raided by the FBI, but Bears spokesman shut it down and said no police were present at Hallis Hall. Williams resigned immediately with the news being broken by Ian Rappaport, and that was the end of that, meaning Eberflus will call the defensive plays this Sunday at Arrowhead. In injury news, Braxton Jones has been placed on the IR with a neck issue. Eddie Jackson did not practice, and Darnell Mooney was limited. Nate Davis did return, but as of this Thursday, he did not practice, most likely due to personal reasons. Finally, Ryan Poles would come out this past Thursday addressing the media on everything that happened, saying the team was going through adversity, starting the season 0-2, but claimed the organization was solution-oriented. Poles would go on to say nobody is panicking in the building and nobody is flinching. And the truth is, adversity either has a chance to bring the team together stronger than before or it can destroy the locker room. At this point, you just have to hope that the Chicago Bears team can rally together and just realize, yes, they've started 0-2, but there's a lot of season left to get things together. And now time for your Bears versus Chiefs Week 3 preview. The Bears will be facing off against the Chiefs in a Week 3 battle at Arrowhead Stadium. The Bears come in as plus 12.5 underdogs against a Kansas City team led by Patrick Mahomes with a healthy Travis Kelce. If there's a week where the Bears offense needs to start clicking, it needs to be against Kansas City. I want the play calling to be mixed up and smart. Run the ball. Use Roschon Johnson more. I want to see Fields make plays with his feet if there's nothing through the air, and I want to see Kmet more involved this Sunday. As for the defense, I want to see Walker and Yannick get to Mahomes. I want to see pressure put on him. It's important to know when Mahomes is under pressure, Kelce is somewhere as an escape option. There needs to be a defensive game plan centered around closing down on Kelce and stopping the run, because if they get Pacheco going on early, it's going to be hard to stop this team. As far as the Kansas City defense goes, when looking at their film, they line up in a few cover 1 looks with a lot of man-to-man built in. This team, they have some ballers on that line, especially with Chris Jones being back and George Karlaftis and linebacker Nick Bolton. This isn't a game where you can just stand in the pocket and not do anything. You either are hitting a guy down the field or using your legs to extend the drive. It's a difficult game, but it's not impossible. Here's hoping the Bears come out on top.